The greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance, it is the illusion of knowledge. Stephen Hawking. You're standing in front of a wall of bottled water. Some labels promise pure mountain spring, others claim to be artesian. Most are marked with something about purity, but how much cleaner is bottled water than what comes straight from your tap? The answer might surprise you. Every year, people spend over $300 billion globally on bottled water, and in the United States alone, the average person drinks about 47 gallons of bottled water annually. But according to the EPA and World Health Organization, most bottled water isn't necessarily cleaner or safer than tap water. So, how did bottled water become such a phenomenon? The bottled water industry took off in the 1970s and 80s when concerns over pollution and tap water safety were on the rise. Marketing campaigns pushed the idea of purity. Images of glaciers, pristine rivers, and natural springs became standard on bottles. The message was clear: bottled water is safer and healthier. But is it? In the US, tap water is regulated by the Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA. Bottled water, on the other hand, is regulated by the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA. While both set safety standards, the EPA's regulations are often more rigorous. For example, municipal water supplies are tested for harmful contaminants several times a day. Bottled water facilities? They typically test just once a week, sometimes even less. And the source of bottled water? You might be surprised to learn that nearly 45% of bottled water in the US actually comes from the tap. Brands like Dasani and Aquafina filter municipal water supplies, add some minerals for taste, and bottle it. Essentially, you're buying tap water, just with extra packaging. But if bottled water isn't always cleaner, why do people keep buying it? One reason is convenience. Bottled water is portable. It's easy to grab a bottle and go. There's also a perception that it tastes better. But blind taste tests often show people can't reliably tell the difference between bottled water and tap. And in some cities, like New York, tap water consistently wins taste tests over bottled brands. When it comes to safety, both tap and bottled water have had contamination issues. In 2022, a major bottled water brand recalled thousands of bottles due to arsenic levels above the legal limit. And in the early 2000s, another recall pulled bottles contaminated with E. coli from shelves. On the flip side, tap water systems in places like Flint, Michigan, have faced major crises due to lead contamination. These issues highlight that both bottled and tap water systems can fail, but it's often tap water that faces stricter public scrutiny and regulation. There's another factor to consider: cost. Bottled water can be up to 2,000 times more expensive than tap, and the environmental impact is huge. Americans throw away about 60 million plastic water bottles every single day. Many of those bottles end up in landfills or the ocean, where they can take hundreds of years to break down. So, should you avoid bottled water altogether? Not necessarily. In emergencies, during natural disasters, or in places with compromised water supplies, bottled water can be life-saving. And in areas without reliable infrastructure, it can be a safer option. But in most developed countries, tap water is not only safe, but regularly tested to ensure it meets high standards. The key is to stay informed. Know where your tap water comes from. In the US, utilities are required to provide annual consumer confidence reports detailing what's in your water. If there's a problem, they're obligated to fix it. You can also install filters if you're concerned about taste or specific contaminants. At the end of the day, bottled water isn't automatically purer or safer than tap. It's just more convenient and often much more expensive. For more videos, please like and subscribe.